Tomb Raider has always been known for its globe-trotting adventures, but in the reboot, Crystal Dynamics pinned Lara Croft to one location for the entire game. The studio received a few complaints from fans on this point and promises that Rise of the Tomb Raider will take Lara to at least 2 different locations across the globe. And while the studio isn't ready to reveal the coordinates of the second location just yet, it has promised an even greater breadth of terrain across its locales. This means that Lara won't be trudging through snow the whole time she's in Siberia. During our demo, we got a brief glimpse of dusty sandscapes, dense forest, and underwater caverns. Lara's Avalanche Escape is an example of how Crystal Dynamics aims to fill Rise of the Tomb Raider with more of the heroic action set pieces that were popular in the 2013 reboot. However, Lara will have a more persistent battle to fight as she marches through the wilds of Siberia. Storms whip out of nowhere at a moment's notice, and the forest is populated with hungry wolves and territorial grizzlies. Crystal Dynamics wants Rise of the Tomb Raider's world to feel like a hostile and formidable character. The environment itself is Lara's main antagonist. The goal is to raise the stakes against her. Lara learned a lot in the last game, but she doesn't have unflinching confidence. She can't face unlimited opponents unscathed. She's in a life and death situation, so we want to capture a certain amount of humanity by showing that Lara is continually challenged as a character. It's important for us to capture those moments when Lara is uncertain about her identity, her direction, or her ability to come out alive. Thankfully, as Lara becomes more proficient in her survival skills, she learns to exploit the environment to even the odds. Her main means of this is through a detailed crafting system. In the 2013 Tomb Raider reboot, Lara collected salvage which she used to upgrade her weapons, but in Rise of the Tomb Raider, Crystal Dynamics has greatly expanded on Lara's survival toolkit. Lara now collects a variety of different resources such as plants, minerals, metals, clothes, hides, and other rare relics, and can then use these components to create a variety of new tools and weapons. For example, we watched Lara upgrade one of her climbing axes into a makeshift grappling line that allows her to swing over deep ravines. Meanwhile, a piece of cloth and some herbs can be used to bind Lara's wounds. Other resources let Lara craft poison ammo, construct traps, even make Molotov cocktails or grenades. As in the last game, Lara is able to upgrade her weapons, but now she has more than one of each weapon type to choose from. For example, Lara can craft a variety of different bows with different properties. A compound bow might have a greater stopping power than a traditional longbow, but it might also take Lara longer to prime each arrow to fire. Furthermore, some upgrades apply to all weapons of that type, while other upgrades only apply to a specific weapon. Once Lara has the components she needs, crafting new tools and gear is easy, but Rise of the Tomb Raider's ambient weather system make gathering certain resources a challenge. Some animals might go into hiding during a storm, others will only come out at certain times of the day. You might have a particular upgrade that requires an alpha wolf hide, but wolves only come out at night in the valley, so you have this idea that the environment and the weather conditions might affect the gameplay. This will also apply to combat, so enemy line of sight or hearing might be impaired by things like fog or rain. Just as Lara gathers elements from the environment to improve her toolset, she also needs to make a clever use of her surroundings during battle. Wolves and bears aren't the only threats lurking in these Russian badlands. She's about to encounter the world's most dangerous game. Man. What's up guys, Rox here, and before I get started, let me mention that just today they released the second trailer to, well, it's actually a teaser to Rise of the Tomb Raider, and if you guys haven't seen it, I'll put a link to it so that you guys can watch it here on this channel, either in the video here or in the description below. But before we get started, I wanted to show you guys that I had a custom-made mouse pad. I was trying to find one that had to do with Tomb Raider, and I couldn't find one that I liked, so I had one designed, and this is the one that I came up with. I actually designed it myself with photocopy. Some of the images that you guys see in the background, I wanted it to look sort of comic book like, and obviously the front image is from Underworld, and I don't know, I like it a lot. I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I did, but I got it the other day and I was really happy about it. But anyways, let me talk to you guys about what we just saw. Basically, let me start off first with the very first thing that they talked about how they wanted to expand the location unlike on the reboot where the whole adventure took place in the island of Yamatai. In the sequel, they said that they're going to have two different locations, and that the areas are going to be 3 times bigger than what they were on the reboot, which is a good thing because I liked playing the reboot a lot. And when I was searching for all the items and stuff, I was thinking these places are kind of really big, but knowing that the new ones are gonna be even 3 times as bigger, it's just exciting to me. That just tells me that I'm gonna be spending a lot of time exploring in this new areas. So that's a good thing. They talked about the new crafting system. And the crafting system that they talked about kind of reminds me a lot of what they did on The Last of Us. And for many of you who haven't played The Last of Us, they had a certain type of crafting system where not everything was available to you when you were out playing the game. You always had to think ahead before you make a choice of what you wanted to create, because you never knew if it was going to be something that you needed to heal yourself or if you're just going to use it for something for combat. And it worked very well in The Last of Us, and it seems like they're going to be adapting that sort of same crafting system over here on Rise of the Tomb Raider, which is a really good thing because it makes you kind of decide for yourself what will be the best type of items for you to create, because the game is not telling you what to do. This time it's the player choice, and it makes for a lot more interesting gameplay. Now, ever since Tomb Raider's been out, it's always been plagued with a whole bunch of quick time events, and I would like for them to scale back a little on that. It's something because I noticed it on the new teaser that she's climbing up this huge ice sheet up this wall, and all of a sudden it just gives away, and as she's falling, it slows down again, and it kind of reminds me a lot of the quick time events that happened on the reboot. If you guys remember that one moment where she was going across that rope, and all of a sudden the post at the other end gives away, and she had to like swing across, hits the wall, and then she loses grip, and now she starts to fall towards the ground. But the screen tells you to press the action button in order for her to pull out her axe and then save herself. For me, I don't know. I think those kind of events are kind of outplayed in this game, and I hope they scale them back a little in Rise of the Tomb Raider. That's just my opinion. I thought that they made the game a little too cheap. I just wanted the game to be a little bit more challenging and a little bit more difficult, I guess is what I'm saying. I also want to bring up that I talked about the weather conditions, how it changes, and I was wondering if it was going to have a cycle through while you play the game. You know what I mean? Because in the reboot, a lot of the moments that were happening in the game was basically depending on the storyline. So if things had to happen in the evening, you played in the evening. But I'm not sure if here they talk about how animals only come out at certain times of the day or at night. So if that's true, does that mean that the game's going to have a cycle where you go to, let's say, an area that you want to hunt for a wolf, and they only come out in the valley and at night? So can you go there and just wait until the sun goes down so that they can come out? In the reboot, as you guys know, there was no cycle. So if you went to, let's say, the coastal forest, it was the same time of day no matter what time you went there. It never changed, and it's kind of nice to know that. I mean, I still don't know, but I feel like that's what he's talking about, that there is going to be a cycle of day and night, allowing us to kind of like take advantage of the environments as they change. So I don't know, that's pretty interesting, and I'm kind of glad that they're kind of doing that. Well, that's pretty much it, and there's more that I want to talk about, but it's actually covered in the next chapter, and I want to talk about those things, but I want to wait until you guys watch it next week. That video is a little bit hard to put together because, again, it seems like it talks about a certain cutscene that so far we haven't seen exist yet, so I have to somehow be creative and put a video together so that we understand what's going on. But well, you guys, I just want to say thank you for your time. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think of these changes that they're making to the game. Share the video. Leave me a like. And that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys next week.